In the Rotarian's weakest point, the mom of three finds her greatest strength.
My babies. And they want and need to just see a secure future for them. I know I can't guarantee, but even if I die trying to, I will keep doing it until the much I can do, the much scratching of the surface to open up and pave way for inclusion and integration and equity. I will do it. I went to South Africa representing my country. You fund everything for yourself. So I'd asked for sponsorship, of course, everyone thinks like, it's just a beauty thing, which is an attitude we need to change. It's not, it's more than just beauty. So, and it's open. So I went and I walked and I came back with 19 awards. I came back with the title Queen of Miss Africa Elite in 2020, Elite Face of Africa, and Miss Africa United Nations. So I'm like, oh my God. But you see, the thing about it, when God makes that way, that was the platform now I used. I wrote to the First Lady then, Her Excellency Margaret Kenyatta. She responded. I was inviting her, yeah. I was reaching out to Beyond Zero to support me in my projects for Andy Speaks and the Ride for Autism. You get so many no's. Remember that knocking of doors? That's where now you're like, even if someone says no, we move to the next. Sometimes when I go and do an interview, I go back, my Facebook is full. Someone somewhere was giving up and they're like, I saw you, I have a special child, I've never come out, but you have inspired me to not give up. That for me will make me go to sleep that day. Because sometimes God puts you somewhere, not for you, but for someone else who needs you, He makes you go through an experience. Because you can imagine, if I had not been a caregiver, if I hadn't gone through all the things I went through, I would not know how to stand in the gap for the rest. I would not have enough empathy. Empathy in that if someone says I can't afford food, I've been there. If someone says I can't find a school, I've been there. If someone says they cannot afford medication, I have been there. So as much as I could be blessed to where I am right now, I don't forget where I came from, because that's the journey that brought me to where I am today. And I wish I could do more. I wish that the ride that we do, I wish I could do 10 schools a year, if I get the right support. Because right now I'm on doing 1 or 1.5, half that you do the autism class and not do the therapy center. Because you see, we are setting up therapy centers, and I want the education system to change in that by doing what we are doing, when we are bringing in that special unit that is well equipped with the right tools and set up correctly for that child's future opens up. That means that child will have therapy across the room. Me as a parent, I don't have to get off days 3 times a week to take my child to therapy, because after 1 month, I'll be kicked out of that job. So I want to save the parent, and we want to save also the child. Because if this child becomes independent, I'm freer as a parent. And that means they're able to do things on their own. That means they're able to learn. That means they can be integrated into the mainstream. So it's a whole combination of different aspects of social protection, education, and health. You cannot take away those 3. And that's what we stand for at Andy Speaks. We want policies to change, and we want synergy in all these 3 angles and ministries and, all the people who are involved, to look at it with the microscope, to give them what they need, not what we think. It's not about equality. It's about equity. Give me what I need to be able to take me to where you want me to be, right? So those are some of the programs. We had a medical where we were given anticonvulsants to special needs families, but see, that's medical. Very many people shy away from it. So, and then you write to state they don't even understand what you're talking about. So we are hoping that a program will be able to, or someone will be able to come and help us to help parents also do that. And the other thing that we normally do is psychosocial support and medical camps, dental, eye checks, general checks. Because sometimes you find your child could be unwell, you cannot afford to take your child to. So we would like to be able to do that. We also had a TV show called Neuro Digest, Now it is special needs hangout during COVID. We changed it to that, but it's on hold because my hands get full. I would love to continue, but we still do indirectly because every day there's a parent who will call and ask for support here. And I want to talk to, where do I go? Who do I talk to? I am depressed. I don't know how to deal, you know? So standing in the gap for them and shielding them and reminding them that they're not alone is one of the other things that we do. Or even just holding their hand and helping them through that, you know, meandering through that craziness. Because for me, it felt like someone took me to a forest in the night. This is the beginning of the forest, and they're like, by morning, I hope we'll see you on the other side. Sorry, I don't have a torch. I don't have a map. All the best. Cheers. That's how it feels when you're, you know, when that diagnosis comes. And because you're like, where do I go? Some of us hear that name for the first time. So we just want to stand in the gap for them and help them and hold their hands, you know, and make sure that an informed parent is an empowered parent. All the information, know what's going on, know what you need to do so that you're able to help and support your child for them to be the best version they can be. And one thing we want to encourage parents in closing, love your child for who they are and not what you expected them to be.
The walls and all around Sylvia's office, there are whispers of her success.
I met Sylvia last year, around October, when I came to interview for a job at Andy. And I can say from the get-go, she has been like a mentor to me, considering I have not really been in the disability space ever. I have not dealt with anyone who has been in the disability spectrum. And yeah, I can say she is accommodating. First of all, she has shown me the ropes. She has been a teacher, because through her now I can at least be able to describe a few things about the disability space. She has shown me the path when it comes to dealing with persons with disabilities, especially those on the autism spectrum.
I was nominated for disability, this is what, the National Diversity and Inclusion Awards, where I was second in PWD inclusion. That's that one. I said I'm a Rotarian. In Rotary, I usually did. I give my all. So I've been very hands-full, also hands-on on Rotary. So you see a lot of Rotary staff from the districts, that is Kenya, South Sudan, Ethiopia, and Eritrea. That's what comprises of our District 924. So you'll see a lot of awards from the leadership that side. I do mentorship and speaking. So this one was Sister Speaks. We were empowering and encouraging other women to arise. This is from our Ride Africa. In Rotary, there is this lapel pin here. There's something called Paul Harris Fellow, where we donate so that the money is invested and it comes back to helping community service. So I'm still looking forward to a big hand of the giving coming back to my organization. So that's what a Paul Harris Fellow is. I mentioned the Sunshine Rally. That is something very close to my heart about disability. This is service and dedication for the district conference. Some of this is you in Rotary volunteer. You can do cash and time and also your skills. So I give a lot of my skills back. That is the communication and PR. So the past 3 years I've been appointed as the Assistant Rotary Public Image Coordinator, one of the youngest. Like I said, when God wants you to do something, you will. One of the qualifications is you have to have become a Rotary president, which I haven't become, but yet I was able to be appointed. So God does his ways. He gets you where he wants you. So that's my certificate of my course. Remember I mentioned I was a director consultant, guiding people in business, how to network and how to maximize their profits. This is all my one pageant week experience, the 19 awards that I got. And the main titles, they're spread out like all over. That's Miss Africa Trophy, that's my travel corner, Travel is what I use to reset. So I made a pact with God that, yeah, I do this for you and you make sure that I maintain my sanity. I take care of the people, your people, you take care of me. When it comes to schools, you find that currently we have schools that have a special unit, which is just a room with all types of disabled kids put together, which is not the best for a child to grow and become a resourceful citizen for us as a country. We come, we build, we get space, we set it up, we set up the therapy centers, and we put the equipment, we help the classrooms to revamp them with their rundown, clean up the desks, like let it be habitable, you know, and then we give the kids now their learning materials, yeah. But then now you see, we need the Ministry of Health to come in and give us the therapists to actually give therapy. I would like to encourage the state to take it up. Let therapy be like PE. Other kids have PE. Why can we not have it as part of their lessons? Monday we are having occupational therapy, and Tuesday we have speech therapy. And that is what is right by that child. If you really want to help and support that child, that is the best way to do it.
The future is not something we create, and the Miss Africa elite is diligently building up a wonderful world for the needy and everyone.
I'm in a new phase right now. What I did back in 2015, I wrote down every childhood dream I had, and I have actually fulfilled. God has actually, when they tell you write your goals and dreams and it will be halfway to getting them done, it's very possible, because now I was looking at it and I'm like, I've done everything. So I'm working on a project. I will not say what it is, but of course it's supposed to be changing the space for special needs persons. And that's all I'm dedicating my life to that, in everything that I do, is to make the life of special needs parents and children better. So I'm working on something, and I hope that when we put it out there, we'll be able to get the support that we need, just to revolutionize this space and change the narrative. So that's the future. I'm hoping to set there, but ultimately I would love to see that we have safe spaces also, that justice system also can be able to accommodate those children who cannot stand and say, this person did this to me, because special needs kids and young adults and non-verbal ones are used as scapegoats for perpetrators of evil. And we've seen a lot of injustices. So if I was to paint a picture, our special needs kids don't have to look for a special world. I want the world to be special enough for them to be able to exist in it. For me, I set a goal, I achieve it. What I tell myself, for every goal set becomes the floor once you reach the ceiling. Just knowing that I've touched someone else's life, I think that's what gives me the greatest gratification. Or someone messages, there are people who message, I'm like, okay, it's more of pressure when someone says, oh, you're my role model. I'm like, Jesus Christ, how many people are looking up to me? I have to walk on eggshells, you know? But it's good to know that someone looks up to you, because it keeps you in check. You cannot fumble. If you're the person someone is looking up to, like, you cannot afford to mess up. If you're someone's encouragement, because I get a lot of parents who are like, every time I think of you, where you're from, where you're going, what you're doing despite your situation, I get encouraged to move forward. And I think that's why God made me go through all the things that I went through, just to inspire and change someone else's life and inspire someone else's life. That's enough. More than enough. I'll sleep very well. And I think that's why, even if I was tired, then the next day I wake up and I'm fine, because I know I've played my part.
The lady of many crowns, the beauty to be admired, a voice to the voiceless, and the greatest of them all, the heart of unending love for the people living with disabilities, shares her thoughts.
Don't give up on yourself. That dream that you have, hold on to it. You might have to pack it for now, because the situation and the circumstances don't allow for it. But don't forget about it. When circumstances change, go back for it, because it can come true only if you don't let go, only if you want it so bad And don't let your circumstances define who you are. Because sometimes you will be in situations where you have to make tough decisions, which can alter the course of your life forever. So think twice. Values, principles, stick by them no matter what. For my fellow caregivers, it's not easy, that I know, that I can stand in a pulpit and say 20,000 times. But even as you raise your child, don't forget yourself. You are the human being. You are an individual who has the responsibility of taking care of this life. But if you lose yourself, you lose them. So also remember yourself and self-care. Talk to someone. Our lines are always open. Our social media pages, Andy Speaks 4 on Twitter, and even on Facebook. Join the community and have that conversation. Ask, don't be shy. Come out and let people support you. Because remember, like I said earlier, there's no special world that your child will be in. It's the same world. Make sure everyone around them understands them and loves them for who they are. Because that's the only way you'll be able to get the support. I know we all dream and wish that our kids could be typical like everyone else, but embrace who your child is. Don't see their inability. And like I usually like saying, see the able and not the label. One lesson, and I saw to myself, I depend on me. I have to do everything. If I'm getting into something, I question myself, my why, and if I can do it. And do it 100%. If I cannot, let it stay. So even when anyone comes to approach me to work with them or something, that's one thing. If I say no, it's from the bottom of my heart. If I say yes, I will give you half of me. When I say no, you force me, I'll not give you the whole of me. And that's not being me. So I'd rather just, I cannot. It's easier that way. And the power of no is very important, because that's one of the lessons that I learned. Because before it was just wanting to belong. So you'll say yes, and you drain, you kill yourself. You don't have to. That's back to the young people. You don't have to. If someone tells you, let's do this, it doesn't align with what you believe in. It doesn't align with where you're going as an individual. You don't have to do it. You don't have to please anyone. At the end of the day, I realize when you're having marital issues and they tell you, those cultural, all of us have gone through it, vumilia we ni mwanamke. Everyone leaves you there alone. You're the only one who's in that marriage, in that relationship, in that situation. What's there for you? Is it building you or breaking you? I'd rather you're alive and suffer than dead trying to please everyone else. And also thank you for at least highlighting stories of watu wa chini ya maji, that we do things, we want to see change, and we ought to take it upon ourselves to be the change that we want to see.